What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me today for the launch of my newest series, Let's Play Hardcore Old School RuneScape. This is the golden era of RuneScape. For the vast majority of us, when we think back fondly on our first memories in the world of Gielinor, we're thinking back to the old school era. Now, although I did play RuneScape throughout the entirety of the old school era, I haven't invested a lot of time in this modern resurrection of that state of the game. And I know that the game has received a lot of attention and a lot of updates, so I'm really interested in seeing how similar or dissimilar of an experience old school RuneScape is from the true RS2 experience. I've also certainly never played any kind of RuneScape 2 based game in hardcore mode, and so I'm really excited to get started. Alright, I'm going to log into my new account and see what happens after logging into the game for the first time with a fresh account. Oh my gosh, here we are with a brand new character. Oh my gosh, all of the nostalgia. Okay, so this character model, I just love this. This was what RuneScape looks like when I first really got into the game. Welcome to RuneScape. Use the buttons below to design your player. Alright, so why don't we... Oh my gosh. Alright, I think this looks really good. And one of the first things that I hope to do is to turn down this loud music, which I apparently can't do quite yet, but we are now in RuneScape on Tutorial Island, and oh, it just looks so amazing. I'm going to go ahead and talk to the Gielinor guide. Before we get going, if you could be so kind to let me know how much experience you have with old school RuneScape, that would be wonderful. To answer, simply click your chosen answer on the following screen. What's your experience with old school RuneScape? I am brand new, this is my first time here. I've played in the past but not recently. I'm an experienced player. I'm going to go ahead and pick that I'm an experienced player because I played this game for so long and I really don't want to go through the tutorial. I kind of just want to get into the game. So yeah, I'm going to select this. So it looks like I'm going to have to play through Tutorial Island anyway, but I think that's just fine. I think it'll actually be kind of fun to explore what Tutorial Island looks like in RS2 for the first time in forever. Let's take a look around this room. It looks like we have a closed chest in the corner. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. In RuneScape Classic, the beginning of the tutorial has this chest in the corner, and if I search it, it says you search the chest but find nothing. If you go back to my RuneScape Classic series, you'll see me do the exact same thing on RS1. We've got a sink in the corner, a tree, like some little potted plants, some rocking chairs. This is reminiscent of old school construction, and I can hear the grandfather clock chirping away. That's cool. We've got this room, a little dining area, and a painting. A beautiful landscape. Very cool. Alright, so I guess let's carry on, shall we? In Classic, there's like a movement guide that happens next. It looks like we're going to go straight to the survival expert. That's kind of cool. We'll talk to this person. Hello there, newcomer. My name is Bryna. The survival expert gives you a small fishing net. Perfect. We've got our backpack, and now it wants us to fish. We've got a small fishing net. This is great. To start fishing, just click on the sparkling fishing spot indicated by the flashing arrow. Wonderful. Alright, let's get a close-up view of my very first fishing attempt in RuneScape, old school RuneScape that is, and you managed to catch some shrimp. Cool. Click on the flashing bar graph icon near the inventory button to see your skills menu. Sweet. Look at this. It looks like we have 23 skills, if I can math properly, and our total level is only 32. Everything is 1 besides our constitution, our hit points, rather. Pardon me. It was hits in Classic, it's hit points in Old School, and it's constitution in RuneScape 3. But this nice, like, just fresh set of skills is just so exciting, so motivating. I can't wait to break into this a little further. The survival expert gives you a bronze axe and a tinderbox. Let's go. Alright, so we're going to chop down a tree and cook our very first set of raw shrimps. Check it out. Look at these old animations. That's just so fun. You managed to cut some logs. So in Classic, you have to drop the logs. Let's see if they updated that for RuneScape 2. Perfect. So yeah, I just use the tinderbox on the logs. I don't have to drop them on the ground. That is perfect. We've made our first fire, and then I'm going to use the raw shrimps on the fire to cook. Your character is attempting to cook, and you manage to cook some shrimps. Perfect, we didn't burn our first shrimps, that's great. Yeah, I think we're going to move on, but this little fishing area is kind of cool. Just a little pond with some trees. We've got a fence line. I guess we're going to go head through the fence and to the south. To our next area. This looks like the kitchens, the cooking area. Let's talk to the Master Chef. The Master Chef gives you some flour and some water. This is the base for mini meals. Yeah, so we're going to use the water, the bucket of water on the pot of flour to create some dough. And then we'll use the dough on the range. Alright, so I just made a couple of changes that were really bothering me in the prior clips. So I moved my face cam up to the top left of the screen, which is just a much better area for it while we're playing the game. And then I turned off the cursor capture, which just drives me nuts when I'm watching people play RuneScape. So yeah, I definitely didn't want my mouse to be going all over the screen. You can obviously see where I'm clicking, so yeah, hopefully the rest of the episode is a little cleaner looking. I'm going to do as the chat box suggests and move along. Let's head outside along the coast. It's so funny seeing the draw distance rendering only a few blocks away. We can't see far into the distance, but I'm going to follow this winding trail along to the next instructor. It looks like in this room we have the quest guide. It's time to learn about quests. So I can now look at all of the quests that are available to us, broken out into free quest and members quests. And I'm not absolutely certain about this, but I believe there are new quests in Old School RuneScape that weren't present in RuneScape 2, and that also aren't present in RuneScape 3. Yeah, like Dragon Slayer 2. I don't think that is a RuneScape 3 quest. I'm fairly certain that it's not, and I'm really interested to see how that affects the lore and canon of the game. I'm really interested to see if any of these quests are technically canon in RuneScape 3 or not, or if they're intended to be considered two completely separate universes. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I'm really excited to find out and to get stuck into these quests. The quests themselves can vary greatly, from collecting beads to hunting down dragons. Completing quests will reward you with all sorts of things, such as new areas and better weapons. There's not a lot more I can tell you about questing. You have to experience the thrill of it yourself to fully understand. Let me know if you want to recap, otherwise you can move on. Perfect. It looks like we're going to head down this ladder, and I'm going to take a wild guess that combat and mining and smithing are next. Alright, so I'm going to head down the ladder, and let's see where this takes us. Mining and smithing tutorial. Very cool. I remember this very well. Talk to the mining instructor. It looks like we've got some tin ore and copper ore to mine. The mining instructor gives you a bronze pickaxe. Sweet, we now have a bronze axe, a bronze pickaxe, tinderbox, a small fishing net, pot and bucket. We are set. Okay, so let's go ahead and mine some tin first. This should be tin anyway. Oh, that sound, oh my gosh. That sound just brings back so many memories, so many hours of grinding mining. Let's mine some copper. Oh, this is so great. I wonder if my axe head can randomly fall off like it used to. I don't think it does that in RuneScape 3 anymore, but I remember used to the head of your pickaxe could just fall off and you'd have to pick it back up and put it back on. Alright, so we're going to use the ore on the furnace to smelt a bronze bar. Sweet. See if you can make a bronze dagger. The mining instructions gives you a hammer. Alright, so we're going to smith a dagger. I'm going to use the bar on the anvil. And it should give us some kind of menu. Yes, oh my gosh, this menu. I remember this. Oh, the nostalgia is just like washing over me right now. Alright, let's make one bronze dagger, our very first weapon in Old School RuneScape, and we now have a bronze dagger. You'll be told how to equip items later. I can't wield it yet. Whatever. Okay, it looks like we can move on. I bet you that my toggle earlier choosing being experienced is probably shortening the amount of time I have to spend talking to these guys. That's my guess anyway. Alright, we're going to learn about combat. Let's talk to the combat instructor, level 146. Hi, my name is Westbrook 95. Do I look like I care? Alright, so we can now equip items, and we have the loadout interface. That's awesome. It looks like we can click here to see how an item affects our stats. So right now we have 0 bonuses. Everything's zeroed out. That's really nice. I know in RuneScape 3 you have some base stats, which is fine, but it's kind of cool that everything starts at 0. If I equip the bronze dagger, we now have +4 to stab and slash. We have a negative bonus to crush, and it looks like, ooh, we got a magic defense bonus. That's interesting, to say the least. I, definitely wouldn't have expected that. Yeah, equipping the bronze dagger gives us +1 to our magic defense bonus. That is weird, because, magic beats melee, so interesting. Alright, let's see what he has to say. Very good, but that little butter knife isn't going to protect you much. Let's get you something a bit better. The combat instructor gives you a bronze sword and a wooden shield. Alright, so let's take a look now at how this new equipment changes our stats. So right now, essentially our stab is +4 and our slash is +2. If we equip the sword, our stab stays +4, but our slash improves to +3. So really, if we use the stab combat style, they're the same thing. However, the sword looks like it offers some defense bonus, like to slash and to crush. I guess because you use the sword, to parry incoming blows. So that makes sense. And our melee strength bonus goes up to 5, so that's pretty cool. So this is the sword is a better weapon, the bronze sword. Alright, so we've got that equipped. Oh, let's also take a look at our wooden shield. So equipping the shield forces us out of that menu for the purposes of the tutorial, but I just wanted to see, yeah, look, all of our defense bonuses shot up. We now have +7 to slash, 4 to crush and stab. We still have our +1 to magic and +4 to range. Okay, so that's kind of cool. We'll go ahead and look at the combat styles. So we have stab, lunge, slash, and block. And these are these determine what kind of XP that you get as a reward from your combat encounters. So that's pretty cool. And then we have the auto retaliate option. Sweet. So now we get to head in and actually fight some rats. And I think that I'm going to use slash first. I want to work on strength first. Yeah, it's typically the most efficient process is normally to train your strength first so that you can hit harder, and then, let attack and defense follow behind to get the armor and weaponry that you want to be able to equip. So let's go ahead and head into the fray and attack a rat. Our first combat. Oh my gosh, the blood splats. I took 2 damage. That's not good. Starting 4 damage. Okay. You'll see a bar over your head. Yeah, that's your health. Yeah, this is intense. Okay. Wow. This is how much XP that I'm gaining. So it looks like I was gaining XP as I was killing the creature, which is strange. Normally in RuneScape, you always you get XP at the end of the kill. So that's kind of interesting if we're gaining XP during a kill. Yeah, that menu at the top with the XP bar, it's definitely new. Wasn't in the base game. Next up we have ranged combat. With this you can kill foes from a distance. With ranged you'll be able to attack the rats without entering the pit, meaning they won't be able to fight back. The combat instructor gives you a short bow and some bronze arrows. Sick. Alright, rat ranging. Okay, so we're going to equip our short bow and our arrows now. Sweet. We're all decked out, and we're going to attack a rat. It wants us to attack this one. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. This combat is just... it's old, but it's so fun, and it's just so nostalgic. I really love it. Will it let me go back in the pit? I want to pick up my bones, but yeah. I guess I'm not allowed to enter the pit. Okay. To move on, click on the indicated ladder. Okay, so we'll do magic later. We've got melee and ranged down. We'll worry about magic once we get to... I think that's one of the last tutorials, honestly. Okay, so let's move along in Tutorial Island. I'm going to head around, and it looks like there's a door here. We're getting close to done by the progress bar. We'll talk to the banker. It looks like this is our bank. We have 25 coins. That's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and put up our food. I'll put up some of these tools that I know we're not going to need right away. We'll keep the tinderbox and bronze hatchet out. I'll put up the dagger. We'll put up the hammer, and We'll put up the short bow for now. Okay, yep, just the basics. Poll booth, that's interesting. Poll booths are found in towns across the world. The Old School RuneScape community is invited to vote on future game updates to decide whether each update should or shouldn't be released. That's very cool. Voting is open to members with a skill total of 300. To preserve the old school character of this game, an update must gain 75% support to be released. That's really cool. I really like that. Very cool. I know that online there's a huge social presence for people trying to persuade others to vote for or against topics in Old School RuneScape. Yeah, at some point I'll go back and look at those and see if there were, what kind of controversial decisions were made. Let's talk to the account guide. Perfect. Account security is definitely a good thing. That's everything he has to tell me. Great. Let's move on to the next part of the tutorial. Alright. Next we're going to talk to Brother Brace, rather. This is cool. Prayer was not in the classic tutorial, so this is cool to see. And I think I remember this. Good day, brother. So we have the prayer menu, and this looks awesome as well. Looks like thick skin. Is our first prayer, increases our defense by 5%. I'm really ready to get into the main game. I'm stoked. Who is this? Iron Man Tutor. Now, this is what I'm excited for. Hello, Westbrook 95. I'm Paul, the Iron Man Tutor. What can I do for you? Tell me about Iron Man. About Iron Men, rather. When you play as an Iron Man, you do everything for yourself. You don't trade with other players, or take their items, or accept their help. As an Iron Man, you choose to have these restrictions imposed on you, so everyone knows you're doing it properly. If you think you have what it takes, you can choose to become a hardcore Iron Man. In addition to the standard restrictions, hardcore Iron Men only have one life. In the event of a dangerous death, hardcore Iron Man status will be downgraded to that of a standard Iron Man, and your stats will be frozen on the hardcore Iron Man high scores. For the ultimate challenge, you can choose to become an Ultimate Iron Man, a game mode inspired by the player Iron No Bank. That's really cool that that player got a reference in the game. In addition to the standard restrictions, Ultimate Iron Men are blocked from using the bank and they drop all their items when they die. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. That sounds insane. More power to the people that choose to play that way. Very cool. I'd like to change my Iron Man mode. Sweet. We are going to pick Hardcore Iron Man. You'll need to set a bank pin for that. Sweet, so I just set a pin. Your Iron Man mode has been updated and your new pin is now in effect. Alright, so my Iron Man status is Hardcore Iron Man. In addition to the standard Iron Man rules, a Hardcore Iron Man only has one life. A dangerous death will result in being downgraded to a standard Iron Man. Perfect, we are all set. Let's head into the next area for the mage. Hello. Currently you can only cast one offensive spell called Wind Strike. Let's try it out on one of those chickens. Sweet, Tarova gives you some air runes and mine runes. Alright, so I'm going to click on Wind Strike to, I guess this makes it my auto attack. No, I'm actually going to have to cast it by clicking and casting. Okay, so I'll click and use it on the chicken, and I cast Wind Strike. Sweet. I didn't hit, but we're level 1, so we'll get better with time. Well, you're all finished here now. I'll give you a reasonable number of runes when you leave. Sweet. Do you want to go to the mainland? Alright, guys. Here we go. This is it. Leaving Tutorial Island. Prepare yourself. And here we are. Welcome to Lumbridge. If you need some help, simply talk to the Lumbridge guide. Oh my gosh, guys. Here we are. We unlocked a new music track, Harmony. Welcome to Old School RuneScape. Wow, that was a crazy journey, but we're here. We're actually here. It looks like it put everything that we're going to start the game with in our backpack. I don't know if that 25 gold will still be there. We'll have to go check a bank to find out, but this is sweet. We're here. We're here right in front of Lumbridge Castle, and I can zoom out, like, way further than I actually expected to be able to zoom out. That is kind of cool, kind of crazy. Oh, wow. I just put my client into legit full screen mode, and this looks sick. Oh my gosh, I just want to like run around and stare at everything. This goblin is like staring me down, and so I have, I really have no other choice. No, it's too late, you can't run now. We will now fight to the death, no food, and I mean that. If I die, I die. Here we go. 1v1 with the goblin, no food. He's level 2, and I'm level 3, so we have the upper hand. Oh my gosh, this looks so incredible. I just can't even explain how happy I am right now. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is it's a little closer than I expected to be. Okay, we just took the lead. Let's go. Oh gosh, am I ever going to hit? I don't think I'm ever going to hit again. Okay. Okay. Awesome. After about 2 minutes, the goblin finally dies. I will bury your bones. I have honor. That was... that was a blast. Well guys, that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you again so much for watching. Today we were able to complete Tutorial Island and to get our very first glimpse of Lumbridge Castle, and the River Lum. And in the next episode we're going to start our journey towards leveling all skills to 10 or higher. I'll see you guys in the next episode.